What do we got here? We got Full House. Welcome everyone.
Jim.
That was a dope set, man. I really enjoyed that.
Shit, I need to. Yeah, man. I didn't realize I was unmuted. There we go. Yeah.
It was
It's gonna be even
I
better.
didn't know 3D Slaps was into audio stuff as well. That was really cool.
Yeah, man. We're about
It's
to
all
bring
good,
on all you
man. Appreciate
musicians.
you. Appreciate you just hanging out with us and sharing some of your work. I think it's inspired me and hopefully inspires other people to start submitting their music for this special hour in between, and we could just have like a whole diverse range of Aavegotchi artists submitting their work to you for showcasing.
Hell yeah, man. It's gonna be awesome. I've got some tracks with NF. I
Ooh,
think
I can't hear
hardcore
you,
just
but I think it's because I was hearing double during the stream. It's actually
Oh, do you have me muted?
it's you. I can't hear you, but that's because I muted
Can
you.
everyone else hear
Yeah,
me?
you might have muted him.
Yeah, let me unmute him.
I was wondering. I kept talking, and Hefe kept just going. I was like, all right.
Sorry, I had you muted because I guess the way somehow the audio was set up, or I might have had two windows open. It was echoing during the stream, so I had to mute you in Discord. Yeah.
Maybe the sound was coming through because I was streaming the video. I'm not sure. Maybe that was my fault. Cool, yeah, man. No, next week's gonna be even better. Other people are already submitting music. I'm gonna do so Ableton, the music software that I use anyway, is like really for DJs and for doing that was kind of why it was made for like bands like The Prodigy, so that they would be able to like queue up a lot of tracks and things like that and be able to perform electronic music live. So this is going to give me a chance to take everybody's music and make like really cool playlists, and it can be something new every week, even if it is a lot of the same songs at first. But I have a feeling it's going to grow pretty quickly. I mean, just right there, that was just me and Slaps, and we filled up an hour. So
Yeah, say I'm looking forward because I have like tons of just empty instrumentals because I make them all the time. So I can give you some shit, like
Hell
a lot
yeah.
of stuff.
Have you heard of Arpeggi?
no, I'm not familiar with that.
Ooh, you gotta check out Arpeggi. This is a a Web3 marketplace for sampling and making music, and you can publish your work here as NFTs for free. But basically, it's an in-browser DAW powered by Web3. That's how they market themselves.
You know, something
So-
else I was looking into was I think it's called Optophonic, and it's able to produce audio visual NFTs. So it has like visualizers on it already. I don't know what the quality of them are. It might just look like Windows 98, but I don't know. But
Yeah,
actually,
definitely.
the reason I was pinging hardcore is because I know you work with Resolume, right? Like I really want to take the visual level of this show. You know, I was just showing White Zombie, and but we can do more with the visuals here, and it can really be like an interactive show. You know, this can get wild.
Man, you can't buy a better opening act than that. Zombie, great job. Slaps as well. That was just
Right.
the perfect vibe. There are no dishes left in this house. I got them all.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, like it's a total vibe, you know? Like we have that awesome talk show with D420, and then you get this like jam session, and it's like we come in here to like have our weekly syncopator going into an awesome Aavegotchi weekend, waking up to the play drop, you know what I mean? Like
Man, I want to talk about just an easy segue right into the meeting too. Great energy, great vibes. So that's one of the hype news items here on the screen share, which is this week's kind of GMI items, which is nothing crazy, so it shouldn't take us long, and then we can kind of just BS. So Zombie Time, super dope, great programming. Thank you, Slaps and Zombie. Great idea, easy execution. Easy expansion runway, you know, like the concept is simple: to get more people, get more tracks, do more stuff. So how was it for you, Zombie? Pretty straightforward, light lift.
hey, it's I have a feeling that even as the lift gets heavier, it's going to be fun because music is what I came here to do. So I'm doing it. And then building on that, I'm going to be expanding quite a bit. I mean, Tuesday after From A to Z, it was at 8 p.m., 1 a.m. UTC, so that's 8 p.m. Central Time. I did like a music business hour where I just talk about music business and what I know and what I've learned and what my strategy is. And so I think that's really beneficial. And I wish there was more stuff like that, especially to our community specifically. So I can actually like help people hands on and really talk about whatever. And then same thing, I'm going to try to do another weekly session. And all of these will be at the same time, just like the jam session was. But doing specifically lens related things. So I'm really going to dive into lens protocol and help people with their strategy.
Give me the benefit of repeating the time slots for these two things again.
8 p.m. Central, that's 9 p.m. Eastern, which is 1 a.m. UTC. So it's a hard time to tweet about because it's like, Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, which is Wednesday, 1 a.m. UTC. But yeah, so we'll just go.
Man, you fit in where you get in. Tuesday and when?
Tuesday. I haven't done the lens one yet, so I'm gonna have to see where that falls for me. But
the Tuesday one right now is kind of the music business and just the scope of artist rights and artist revenue and just artist life.
Yep. It's going to be, and I mean, it may be that like that's too much and I have to roll the lens and the music business into one. There's probably going to be a lot of overlap anyway, I feel like, but yeah, I really want to kind of do more of these things because I think lens itself is pretty complicated and the music business is pretty complicated. So kind of giving them each dedicated space, I think will be better for everyone. And then obviously that was kind of an ad hoc thing. And if you watch that, actually they're only on Twitch. So I'm going to have to think about like if I'm going to spin up a second YouTube channel just for music stuff, I may do that so that all my music stuff can live there. But it was kind of ad hoc and I guess I'll get better with it as I go. I'll start to create more of a structure of like, how to kind of teach these things or understand them. But I'm also just there to be like, if you got ideas and you need somebody to like talk about things, as long as you're willing to do it in public, because that's essentially what it is. So, but if you want to talk in private too, you can always message me. I mean, people do that all the time, so it's cool.
No, that's a good pitch right there, man. You're a huge resource to all of the Web3 space, and we're very lucky to have you focused in here specifically. So, I'm very bullish right now on listening to people like Slaps and yourself and others, Face and Supreme Pablo, tracking for people like Billy Bishop and the Subgraph. It's such an easy integration for you guys to provide the game tracks for the mini games and the gaming culture that we already have fostered. There's some simple synergy and overlap there. Looking forward to it.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just going to ask if anybody else was here in doubles. Zanzi says he's having doubling issues.
Zanzi's just got the good stuff tonight.
Double the action.
I must have left the reverb on from the last jam session.
Interesting. How about, am I doubled over as well, or am I all right?
Just a single copy, Happy.
It could be because I'm standing, and I'm standing, so maybe I'm actually echoing more. I was actually noticing my room is echoey today. I don't know what that's about.
It must be the humidity, high echo effect.
It's cold here.
Or you might be in, Zonzi might be in zombie stream still, Slap says.
Oh
that
yeah, if you're watching the stream and you're in the room, that's it.
Yeah. That's self-induced.
Slaps is the other audio genius in the room right now. So
I'm very, very happy with the Slaps tracks, quite honestly. That's an easy brand too. Let's build on that.
That was cool, man. I was impressed. I mean, not to mention all the 3D stuff. He does all this too. I'm like, dang.
Oh, because he's a world builder. He's got the whole vision in his head.
Hell yeah!
Thank you.
That's awesome. I
definitely
you're one of the first people I met coming into this space. So when I drop that music thing and you're like, oh, I got this playlist, I'm like, hell yes, that's awesome. You're going to be the first guy on the music show.
Well, and I don't know how many people have had the opportunity to hear some hardcore stuff, but that's fantastical as well. Very avant-garde, very exciting, very just like encompassing. It'd be very cool to highlight some of that stuff too.
That's why I brought him up, because hardcore's got he's got the full Resolume integration. He's got the audio visual thing going on live. It's awesome.
Good stuff. That's fun, and looking forward to it. We're again ahead of it. This is I don't think there's any other sub communities inside of NFT projects that are leading up to their community calls with such good community programming, and it's only going to get better. This is the first show.
Because this is a big personal push for me, because I've been wanting to do live music, like live streaming music, and that's kind of why I got into streaming in the first place. But it's been a slow technical struggle of getting everything to work. But I think I'm actually at a point where I could perform. So now it's just about getting my performance shoes back on.
Well, we're a perfect little beta audience for you, man. We're happy to see it happen.
Yep. Start off with playlists, move to DJ sets. Next thing you know, I'm going to whip out the synth. That's going to be badass.
Man, we will foster and fund as it happens at the different tiers until you pull off away into Beverly Hills. We'll remember you. Speaking of, man, Rigo. Watch Rigo on those sneaky little lens drops. He doesn't do a lot of self-promotion or advertising, but he just kind of every now and then pops them out. 25 editions. Zombie dropped his 4th of 6 in his horror series for Halloween. And so just pay attention to that one as well. Those are much smaller edition counts on those. One thing, I don't know if anyone saw this or keeps up with this or not, but Good Ghosting, if you remember, Good Ghosting is like a DeFi savings protocol that decentralized savings pools, gamified savings pools. They introduced something called community governance, where they're taking solicitation and votes on what kind of savings pools they should open. And the reality is, bearish as everything is, I think with as many people as we have show up on a Saturday call, we could probably take over an entire vote. And so there's an opportunity, if we so choose, that the Gotchi Gang and GMI could maybe help spearhead a little bit of interest in one of these Good Ghosting savings pools, and we could recommend and or strongly or softly demand a ghost-based savings pool, just to kind of flex and remind people that we're still here and have that kind of influence and coordination and ability.
You know, it'd be
cool. Tangible asset. What's up?
With some of their pools, they do a second reward token. So it would be cool if we could get them to do a ghost pool and do a bonus alpha split between everybody who does the pool. That would be because people who don't know about Aavegotchi that much, or even the people who maybe did the first ghost pool but never came into Aavegotchi, would kind of be like, what's this alpha token? And then you've got them from this other angle.
The good news is it is, not as long as there's they have certain game metric rules in terms of being supported collaterals in certain platforms, but beyond that, the parameters and frequency and incentive structure is up for solicitation.
Well,
so we can recommend it that way.
Not even that it would be they wouldn't have to accept alpha. It would basically be because SOS did this with Good Ghosting with the they basically said they would airdrop so many tokens, to anybody who did the SOS pool. So it was a Matic pool or a DAI pool or something, but the additional split token on top of the normal thing was the SOS token. So if we could maybe get the DAO to say, oh, we would throw up, 20,000 alpha as a bonus reward for that pool, and then you know what I mean?
Your memory is ancient. Yeah, I remember all that. Yeah, it's a good idea, and we could recommend it at that way. And so that just requires a little bit of DAO participation and coordination too. But it's very, very possible. We've done it before, and so we'll kind of have to maybe toss it up during the Saturday hangout, maybe the DAO meeting, and if there seems to be an interest, it's something we could do to bring some good attention to Aavegotchi as a project. and actually source some external funding towards us again. So that is something on the table. We already talked about the Halloween release for that. The 2 GMIPs passed for the AR token acquisition, so we'll grab 10 AR tokens off the market. I'm just going to hold them in my wallet for now, self-custody. But I don't know if anyone saw, but on Lens, I reached out to Nader and specifically addressed him and said, hey, I need a Gnosis type multi-sig, multi-custody treasury via AR Weave. So what you got? And so he says, I don't know. Let me go find out, though. I'm on it. So he's working on it, and we'll hear from him and see where we can hold these tokens. And then we'll secure 4 vouchers for the Clifton Strengths test, and that's going to be one for Hefe, one for Thrax, one for Zombie, one for like Zephi. They'll get the top. Yeah, I know. Vote to call them Gimps instead. Okay, yeah, vote and up and pass. Done. We're going to get the strength vouchers, and that'll be the 5 strengths test from those 4 individuals, and we'll get those hopefully a month or so after getting the vouchers. So that'd be dope to see that. So that's kind of the hype news I had. Other than that, everything's kind of up in the air. I'd say the big news for project stuff, I'm a little behind in terms of tangible planning on the ground, but in spirit, super into this one. The Gotchiverse Alchemica Rain Parade. And so this is kind of a birthing of Zombie and Zephi's chatterings and this idea of starting at, right now, the way it's laid out is John Gotchi as the start point, and then setting some points along this pathway, and then just making a in-verse walking route that can be followed that has sequenced and coordinated parcel channelings that occur on altars and harvestings that cause spillover in sequence, a little bit like the Bally's fountains in Vegas. And so it's something we could do in the Gotchiverse, and the more people that participate, the more effect that is achieved. And so Gotchi Mafia did reach out, groups reached out and said that they're super into this idea. And so they have Vault to play, talked about reaching out to someone like the Gotchi Vault, Orium Guild, Meta Guild, Portal Mages, Friendzone, MSG, Gotchi Bulls, anyone else that's on that list.
8-Bit Gamers Guild.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, 8-Bit
Keep
Gamers
calling them
Guild,
out.
we could coordinate that.
And Z5. And yeah, I mean, Friend Zone. Is Slaps still here? Yeah, Slaps. Can we coordinate Friend
Zone's
Zone
on
for
there.
a parade?
I'm sorry. What were we saying? I'm here.
We want to do like
I'm doing some other stuff.
a parade pub crawl type thing where we basically have like a walking route / bounce gate route through the Gotchiverse, where we will like just get it like a public event during the spillover to get people coordinating to pop their parcels.
In Friend Zone?
Yeah. Well, it's going to be everywhere, but I'm asking Friend Zone to get involved.
Oh yeah. So to host a bounce gate in District 4.
You know, right now we're not even thinking, like, we're gonna look at bounce gates as the second choice. First choice would be a walking path. If we can set the route up decently, it'd be a walking route. And so basically, just when we're going through the friend zone district, you know, can we talk to as many friends as possible about, hey, pay attention, be in your front. It's like a real parade, right? Get in your front yard, be ready when the parade comes by, pop your shit.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'll see what I can do. I'll try to alert everyone.
Yeah, just as many
Z5
that's
and I
like
can jump in
reliable
there
for the
too.
hangouts.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got 2 I can pop in for.
Yeah, I've got one.
I'll be in
four
contact
and-
with Zombie or Zephi. I'll be in contact with Zombie or Zephi so we can, whenever the time happens, we can be ready.
Yeah, I think the first one, Zombie, we're gonna almost do like ad hoc, like a vocal on demand. You know, we'll just start at John Gotchi's and via Hangout, just like say, hey, we're here, what's close, and see if we
Right.
can't string it together live, and then we'll have a sense of viability, and then we can go through the effort of stringing together like guild coordinated efforts, because I think that guilds like Friend Zone and Gotchi Vault and 8-Bit and can make a real difference. Like, we can string this together in a pretty cohesive way, I bet.
I mean,
What do you
look,
think on? I was gonna say,
go
what are your
ahead.
thoughts on just putting out a form or something, asking, you know, are you interested? How many parcels do you have? And just some
Yeah, I like that idea. Because for me on Saturdays, I have a really hard time making it to Saturday. I can be there up until 7:30, but then after that, like it's hard for me to stick around. So, but that form, I definitely like Hefe's idea.
Yeah, and then we can kind of declare any kind of time constraints so that way we can sequence correctly if we need to or whatnot. Yeah.
And the thing with bounce gates can really work it out because, all right, so 7:30. I'm guessing you're meaning like that's like the first just half hour of the call. So we could do like John Gotchi and then pop over to Friend Zone. And as far as like bounce gates and how we need to integrate those, like as we build a route, we can tell people just keep your gate open between X time. And that all you have to do is basically like feed the meter when the time comes.
Yep.
And so, yeah, you're right. Let's do a form and then we can start to make a map and kind of a spreadsheet. And we can kind of, because that's what we're going to need, essentially. That's how we do Mardi Gras here. Is we build, there's a map that shows you the route of where you're going to be and kind of a timing.
I did just want to say we're working our way through these items pretty quickly. Once we are done through working our way through these, we do have John Gotchi here who I've been speaking to last couple weeks, and he's ready to give us like a big update on what he's been working on. And I'm pretty excited for what he has to share. But John Gotchi, we're just going to finish working through some of our action items and get the GMI business out of the way, and then we'll get into like your update.
All right, no problem.
Yeah, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, well, goddamn, no pressure, Hefe. All right, well, done, Anthony. We'll talk about this later. It's a good idea. We're gonna do the parade. We'll build a forum. We're gonna talk about this stuff. It's gonna be something that's gonna be easy to do, I think, and it's gonna be more enjoyable than I think people are maybe even giving it credit for in their minds. I think it could be, quite honestly, like the first coordinated social event in the Gotchiverse at this stage, besides maybe Tag. Yeah, you guys ran Tag a while back.
What happens is this thing gets so big and hard to coordinate that people start their own parades, and then it becomes a monster.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I would imagine a district like Ave-chan saying, no, our parade's way better. To hell with their parade. Come to our parade. This is where you want to be.
Competition. Friendly competition.
And I like the idea of bounce gates too. Like I like that idea too for those friends who, maybe we include that as one of the things you can submit on this form. Do you have a bounce gate? Are you planning to host a bounce gate in your area? And then we'll get a good snapshot of what our network of bounce gates would look like too.
Well, and make no doubt about it, there's no real leaning pressure on the bounce gate event listing prioritization fee structure yet, but that will one day matter more. Like right now, it's not a big deal to get yourself on top of there, but like soon enough, people will see the relevance of that when everyone's trying to coordinate events like this and it's crowded. So these could be cool, and we can kind of like just demonstrate what it can look like.
I also like how we voted to turn spillover off, and now we're coordinating to get as much of it as possible.
I mean, look, we're front-running guild channeling.
Exactly. We are beta version of guild channeling.
Exactly.
Are we like those people that set the house on fire and then put it out and because we want something to do?
I hope not. Let's not burn too much down. We can burn stuff. Let's not burn it down.
Gotchi Bulls is not in here, so we can skip him in general, but just, again, stoked for what he's up to. Lots of good talent there, and just... just in general, highlighting a lot of the artists, just a lot of people in this call right now too. So again, just a nice, good all call for creatives in general. Give us what you got, because like people are hungry. The space is so quiet. If you get outside the Aavegotchi bubble and maybe outside a couple of other dedicated bubbles right now in crypto in general, man, you hit empty hallways. It is echoing how silent it is right now out in the DAO spaces. And so be thankful that we can produce over 100 people at each one of these Saturday calls and over 10 people here on a Friday night. So thanks for hanging out. John Gotchi, take us away, my friend. You have the floor. What have you been up to?
Yeah, Jam, hey everyone. I've been working like these past 2 weeks on the loot box chest that we spoke previously. And actually, I expected to have like a final sample right here, but it's taking longer than I thought. But still, I can show you how I see the the things. And I'm gonna work like hard this weekend to at least have like a usable version. So let me share my screen.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna
Shoot.
show you what idea I had behind my head, how we could implement that. That's really nice idea. Yeah, is okay? Yeah, my screen. Okay, so there it is. I wanted to make like a 3D
What have you
representation.
done?
So, okay, actually, I had like this step to follow. First, like you have the chest, but I've made like a smart contract design to actually let anyone create a chest. So here would be a smart contract. Actually, it's not initialized yet, but when you would click on it, you would interface with the smart contract, and that would let you upload, deploy a chest. Then you would like be able to deposit some token, NFT, so any kind of token actually. And then here would be like some smart contract to let you just deploy some ERC20 or say 7021. And actually, once you deploy that NFT, so you have the the different step. So deploy and then approve the just for the transfers. So it may be a little bit confusing because actually it's not finished yet. But once you're gonna be able to interact with the smart contract, you will have a nice like UI. And then the final step, just to deposit your token in the chest. And actually, for the loot box, we could like thought about to make like some random NFT. So people who like every week or every month have one try to just like draw a random NFT on lootbox. But there it is. Like I wanted to make it in a 3D environment, and actually, like a part of lootbox was my first ID in the Gotchi Web3 school. Okay, when we go to data, so probably we need to like refresh. So yeah, I'm struggling to bake those assets right now. That's why I could not like have time to implement the smart contract. So let's load the website. It's taking longer. It's a big, huge file actually.
Hey, so this isn't like just a small update since the last time we talked.
No, there's been quite a bunch of progress that's been made here. It's quite impressive.
Is this lesson 11?
Is what?
I'm just joking.
No, that's a good joke. He said, "Is this lesson 11?"
Less than 11? What is it like a...
The next stage of Gotchi school.
Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, yeah. This those 3D like rendering world. So yeah, this is the next stage. I'm learning about the libraries, but like in the end game, like anyone would be able to create like some I don't know some construction. Let's imagine like those who own like lands. Let's imagine it's like a Amber Land. So anyone owning that Amber Land NFT would be able to create his own 3D like. and like just inject some functionality, smart contract, to have like everything, like a quick swap, I don't know, Aave protocol in one single website, and that website would be like your parser. So yeah, let's imagine like I want to create to add another light. Up. Let's release that one. So yeah, you could like create your light, position it. Let's take the helper and like put your setting as you as you wish. Let's take let's put it in red. Okay, and at finally you would be able to export everything as an object, and this object you could like I don't know, put in like in a NFTs that represent this land.
So you could put
So
this room that you're showing us, this this display, the ability to make NFTs. You can actually put this inside of another NFT, so that NFT you would be able to do this with it, essentially.
yeah, and once the user wants to connect back to this 3D world, it would just need like the URI of the NFT that would represent all those assets. So let's put a little bit of blue.
Come, this is crazy. John, have you seen someone else doing this yet, or did you just cough this out?
No, I've not seen like anyone. I mean, anything else like this. Just I get to learn about 3GS libraries, and actually, yeah, I get inspired by this JCZoo website. So let me introduce you to this. I'm gonna share you the link. But actually, I want to make like the same thing, but with like interacting with a smart contract. Where is the chat?
I pasted the link there in the chat for his webpage.
Oh yeah, already. Okay, nice. So yeah, I got inspired by this one. So actually, it's like the curriculum of a guy, JCZoo, and or maybe you don't hear, but here are some videos. Here is like some information on what project you work. But I found this website really smooth, and actually I would want to make the same, but connected with like smart contract. Oh, go back.
Hefe, is this the same link you shared with us the other day?
Yeah. Yeah,
Got
so
it.
the ability to create these 3D environments, right? And then being able to implement these other functionalities, like you were saying, taking what you're showing people here, and then taking the smart contract functionality and implementing it into something like that. It's like a fully scaled 3D model of like a, this asset made in Blender, and then you can actually, I guess, integrate all these other things into it. So, really cool to see what you've been doing, all the progress you made, the ability to move around in here. And if we had the ability to have Aavegotchi assets or get 3D rendered gotchis, you can imagine this fox could
Exactly.
be a gotchi.
And yeah, and let's imagine like you have like a conflict with someone. You could create an arena and regularize this one by one, 1v1. But the idea is to have everything, all the Aavegotchi component, asset, functionalities in just one place that would be like your lands.
John, do you have any insight? So Hefe is referencing Blender a lot for the rendering environment. We were just looking at that shop, that virtual shop. Where would he have ended up hosting that specific environment? What are people mostly using, or is it kind of just very diverse?
Just the web browser. It's hosted on just your web browser would suffice. If that was the question.
So is that
Maybe not.
public? Hefe, help me out too. So is that public facing, or is it locally hosted and public facing, or is it just a local experience at this time?
At this time, it's local, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to deploy it. Oops. I'm gonna try to deploy it for like this Sunday DAO meeting.
I guess React is the environment that these are developed in, right? And then
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah, React is the environment these are hosted in. That's
Perfect. Yeah. So you could deploy them like on a typical Google or just browser infrastructure.
Oh,
You
yeah,
could even
absolutely.
deploy them on Arweave. You could host them via IPFS.
Oh yeah, you could do
architecture.
Arweave. You could do
Okay.
Arweave. You could do decentralized web page, all that.
That's
Absolutely,
amazing. That's amazing, John. You just like created Sandbox in like a fucking weekend.
Yeah, actually, that's really funny. I just realized like a few days ago that but it's exactly what Sandbox is doing. Like, is letting anyone create their own world in their parcel. So actually,
It's identical.
everything
Mm-hmm.
is with like done with JavaScript libraries, which is 3GS. That's why like anyone can run this 3D like website on like your browser. So first, I could have a first hosting like website that would fetch. Actually, if you own an NFT parcel, that would be able to fetch the information which is contained in one object, and with that object, I could like just render everything as you placed. But yeah, still learning on like
That's
these.
crazy, man. That's like a big freaking deal. I almost see this as a stopgap or even a leapfrog to the SDK, because you could practically build almost anything within this environment. Is that correct? Could you port out to other websites and other hosted services?
Oh yeah, if they support 3GS libraries, they could like recreate, use that object to just recreate everything.
Well done, man. Keep it up. Again, just always tell us what we can do, and I mean that aggressively. Tell us what we can do to help you. I can send you food. It doesn't, whatever you need, man.
Sure, yeah. Like, actually, I tried on the loot box implementation. So it just like I just want to make this website to let anyone go through it and follow the step. But it's like the sample is like half finished, so I try my best to at least have a usable function one for Sunday.
Well, great timeline, man. Looking forward to it. Very exciting, and thanks for sharing it here. And just glad that you have the time to still commit to these kinds of projects, or that you're so talented that these can just slide in through the side, because this is exciting stuff, quite honestly.
Yeah, I'm learning at the same time, but it's really cool that to have an like Aavegotchi project. It let me like just learn new stuff and actually right away try it on production and have direct feedbacks. So yeah, so far so good.
Man, yeah, you want an enthusiastic, audience that can give live feedback and iterations and push. We're here for it, man, because you're on it. I'm glad to have you, and people are recognizing the work. You just continue to improve. Keep it up, man.
Yeah, no. At this point, we've also been talking about getting some sort of funding and maybe get the rest of the resources that you might need, John, to kind of at least take this concept all the way, and get the gotchified version, whether we need 3D models or we need people who can create these environments and maybe polish them up in Blender. Maybe that might be something we might want to think about at this point and see if we can do like some sort of a gotchified version of this for everyone to really like start playing with it, you know.
I was talking with you. I feel like to make this kind of World of Warcraft like of Aavegotchi. Like if we get to find how to get organized as community, we could like create like a step by step every models 3D model, and also get organized developer to work on implement that model and make like a living 3D MMO Gochi RPG.
It's funny you say that because I recently talked to Cryptogotchi earlier this week, and they're coming out with a game called Music Parkour, and it's supposed to be a game that's not using Aavegotchi assets yet, but they want to actually create an open source library for all the 3D, a 3D Aavegotchi library for assets, and then have all the wearables rendered as well. So you'd have all the wearables and all the gotchis with the different eyes. And he's willing to do that as well. So I think that part would be covered. Actually, it would just be a matter of getting the environment, getting the environment part sorted out. And if there were some people who wanted to design something in Blender, I always thought it would be a cool project. This is something we might want to think about for GMI. Maybe we can get some funding or either use some of our treasury, but to do that thing with what Jesse Zoo did for his little ramen shop, that would be really cool. And I've been talking to Thrax too, actually, who's really good with Blender stuff, and he actually thinks he can make like a little GMI kiosk like that. He thinks he can make something very similar to that for GMI. Do you think some of this smart contract work you've done here would be compatible with something like that if we were to,
Jesus, this has become our like virtual minting front end.
We could, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's crazy.
Everything is possible.
So maybe we can make like a little minting shop. We get Thrax, we can get him to make a 3D like Blender model of this, and then we can use some of the smart contract work you've already done especially with the minting factory. That's really cool. And be able to actually try and test some of this stuff out. And maybe we can do like a weekly POAP mint or something for people just to mess around with this for now. And then, in the back, we're like working on this thing. And like this idea, you could take so many places. So I'm really, it's so impressive what you've done. It's crazy, man.
That was that was the exact like idea that I wanted to show you guys, but unfortunately, it takes longer than I thought.
That's a good idea, though. I mean, it's already there.
Let's get back to Jesse Zoo. So you see in the smart contract interface here and there. So those are like just standard ESC20. Like I wanted to make the same thing. When you click on, let's go to About Me. You have this nice transition, and you can go through the screen. And I want to make the same thing for smart contract. I have like all the function of an NFT, like the transfer, the minting. You have like this nice screen with like the picture of the function, with like a nice animation when your transaction is pending. But yeah, that would be the next step for me for a cryptocurrency to be more user friendly.
Yeah, this is the secret sauce right here, man. I think this is
the secret sauce, exactly.
This is awesome.
And I don't know, we could have like we could like implement also like I don't know, for each function or for maybe just the smart contract, have a video of, I don't know, like a no futuristic or Roxano explaining what's
Oh,
going
man.
on with that function. Like you click on the function or the preview, and you have like behind, let's say the camera is moving behind, and there is a video of someone explaining what will happen.
You've been to the future, man. Like exactly like Hardcore said, you see the big picture for sure. Because yeah, that's the full stack experience. Like you're not just looking at one component of it.
Yeah, like a real metaverse, I guess, where you
Jeez,
can
man.
like just interact with like I don't know, important matter in real life, like your bank accounts, your whatever you're working on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm close to speechless because I'm just so damn excited because this is so good. Well done, man.
Yeah, thanks. We're still working out to push the fast I can.
Cool. I know
So, yeah,
Hefe's been I know Hefe's been super excited. He's been biting at the bit here because he's been wanting to talk about this and hear you talk about this to the group because he knows how much you've been doing.
Yeah,
The
there is a
spotlight's
huge
on John
potential.
Gotchi here. He's the one doing all of this. Like I really want people just to see what he's doing and find ways we can get you compensated for the work you're doing and also like just create some more cool stuff.
Hmm. And also maybe find the way to get organized and push like harder together.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we could be working more as a unified group and have people across different specialties. Like we have designers, we have game developers, we have people like yourself doing smart contract work, and I think coming together and doing things like this, it's really going to demonstrate what we can do as a group. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, I strongly believe that if we find the way to get organized together as a DAO, we could really achieve like I don't know, really huge new paradigm for a company and make like a standalone, like unified company. Like anyone could be able to enter, to live, and to enter again because it's a DAO. Like there's no central authority. So that would be really huge for the humanity if we know how to get organized as a DAO. Like I feel like right now, like every project try to find the way uh, to get organized, but still there is no like a standard for a DAO.
I continue to look around the space, and I actively am still pursuing cutting edges, and I don't go other places that humble me often. Everyone, like you're mentioning, is figuring it out right now, and I do think that a lot of the outside parties recognize that the Aavegotchi ecosystems kind of sparked a couple of different positive experiences, and so we might be the lucky few that are really on the verge. This is what we were saying the other day on the interview with the Click. Is we don't know among our own members here who the next real genius is going to be. Like I didn't start GMI waiting on John Gotchi's work and project, but I'm thankful that we're here to be able to witness this because it's just the beginning, quite honestly.
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
Man, so keep it up. We're looking forward to the Sunday drop. That
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
can be a
thank
real
you
thing.
for
No, of
following
course.
this with me.
Yeah, thank you. That's all, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. Hefe,
I know,
congratulations.
man.
I know you've been waiting for that to come out.
Man, I couldn't wait to share. After you showed me John Gotchi, that's all I've been talking about for the last couple of weeks and showing people this because it's we have some really unique individuals in our DAO and yeah, to see where we're at, it seems like we're at the base of a mountain, but we have all the right people on board to take this on and And you're John Gotchi. You're one of them, man. Like I really think you're gonna be building some really great things. So
While I'm thinking about it too, real quick, John Gotchi, we wanted to see if we can get you linked up with whoever wants access. Quite honestly, but No Future for sure raised his hand and wants to talk to you specifically about the scavenger hunt that you did, the on-chain scavenger hunt, and provide a little bit of context on that experience just from tip to tail, because that was also something that was really cool and worth covering.
Oh yeah. Actually, yeah. You contact me no futuristic. Sorry, I didn't get any news. I was really busy with that 3D. But yeah. I could. We could set up this on Monday or Tuesday. So I'm gonna prepare how I get to make this treasury hunt and explain every single step process.
Yeah, perfect.
I don't know. Oh yeah. Yeah, let's go. Not futuristic. You wanted to say?
I was saying that works for me. We'll text or DM in the next day or two and set something up.
Yeah. I was really busy at the time trying to push that 3D implementation.
Yeah, only just building worlds. You take your time, man. Gotchi Bulls is in here. Shout out Gotchi Bulls. Again, just always a big fan. I like just shining the light. Good stuff. Good art. Congratulations being in the queue. What's it feel like? Speechless. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to see, the humility. That's kind of it for project updates. Gaming stuff we talked about already. Orium Guild. Kind of No Future, you lead the way on this, and you let us know how GMI can help with Orium, and how individual members here can find opportunity with Orium and everything that Orium's interested in. I'm gonna be starting a carbon discussion in the Nori route in a different way, and I'm thinking of things like Orium and Gotchi Mafia is already talking a little bit. So much synergy to be had with the guilds. The guilds are maturing as we speak, and so Subgraph, Billy Bishop, 3D assets there, Gotchi Jeopardy, Gotchi Chess. Has anybody in this room used the Unity Dev Kit? Go ahead, Heavy.
did we want to discuss the Fidgetals, prints, merch, all that stuff? Is that something we want to discuss or no?
Let's get something more ironed out. But
Okay.
I mean, if you want me to get into it, I can. But I think we can iron out.
Basically,
the
Zombie's
first.
gonna supply a first beta run of really cool Fidgetals for folks. He's got it figured out.
Yeah, there you go. TLDR. That's something we're still talking about, but we are thinking and talking about it. So
Yeah, we definitely are thinking and talking about
Yes.
it. That's
Thinking and
definitely
talking.
true. That's kind of it for project updates, just to round up the hour, and then we can see open table here. So we talk about the rain parade. We'll figure out some stuff there, make a forum, get some coordination going there.
Forms
Gotchi
made,
Mafia
links in the
stepped up.
chat.
Oh God, see, that's just
Come
quite
on.
honestly, it's amazing.
Boom.
It's I got an army behind me. Dr. Wagme, I'm glad you're in here. So something that we were talking about earlier is this Gotchi verse Alchemica Rain Parade kind of concept. This is just a working title, but we want to walk physically inside the Gotchiverse and go from parcel to parcel with coordinated channelings occurring during the Saturday hangout, so that way there can be sequential spillover that occurs in a physical route. And something like the Gotchi Vault, with the depth of parcels and the depth of Gotchis, could potentially create a whole entire route just in and of itself. And so if there's any interest or capacity for the Gotchi Vault or VGG to participate in something like this, we're trying to at least do the coordinating part.
Man, that'd be pretty complicated to use the vault assets. But I can think about it. I have 140 parcels if you want those. But
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll take them. I mean, no big deal.
But I can't make the hangout, so I don't know. If you want me to assign them to you guys or something, let me know.
And yeah, this is going to be the first iteration, and it'll be very light duty here. But just in spirit, see what you think about, and we'll come up with some more concrete documentation that we'll be circulating amongst the guilds leaders and just organization leaders, and let people know what we're trying to cook up. But yeah, I think that there's, and we don't like to do simple things here. It's always complicated, right?
Right.
That's the parade, Clifton vouchers, John Gotchi Web3 School. Guys, if you haven't finished it, this is straight alpha facing you right in the eyes. The man is building things. And so don't sleep on this opportunity to finish, his flagship alpha product before he progresses, because this is all on chain. I'm happy to have my 10 lessons completed. And so pay attention to John Gotchi School. If there's probably a link floating around here somewhere. I'm sure Z-Fi's got it at the door on a flyer. You guys, this has all been making me super excited here lately. So I've been doing some more research today on the registered agent consultation. I'm very strongly leaning towards the Colorado-based LCA structure. I know we've talked a little bit about that in the past. That's the Limited Cooperative Association. Very similar to an LLC, but different in a couple key ways. And I think with us is essentially an art co-op, an art collective. I think it's actually a good fit and a good match. So doing some homework there. We haven't given up on that. It's just slow going and boring and not super exciting, but it's cool because it's sign of maturity. Leonardo DiGacci is going to be the artist of the month for November. We just skipped October outright because oops. Aussie interview opportunities with Laura Nucky. We talked about these before and still good ideas. Talked about game jams before, still good ideas. GMI Estate is more relevant now with the bounce gates too. It's nothing that we need to do on these are just kind of things to think about as we move on. Is we still have funds in the treasury, so do we want to expand the farming ops? Do we want to build a shitload more alpha harvesters? Do we want to build a couple more reservoirs? It's like a capacity of 12 right now, and it fills up daily.
I think we need to. Actually, I want to tie that in. I thought of something because No Futuristic was talking about this during D420 as well. But yes, we need to build out our properties because if we're going to end the parade, then it needs to be big. The other part is that No Futuristic was talking about kind of doing a parade thing. And I think it just occurred to me like, okay, so Mardi Gras parades have a king. There's someone who kind of starts and leads the parade. So, maybe No Futuristic needs to be the person who steps up and makes the route. And we can build it around him to be like, hey, he says he's going to be here at these times. And then we build the route like that. But it would be on No Futuristic to build in a linear way.
You want to be the Rain King?
The issue for me is that my channeling schedule shifts depending on my clients. So it's hard to say because I have to, right now I still have 70 gotchis left. So in the morning, assuming I don't get them done before, if I wake up at 8:45, there's no way I'm going to be able to get them done before 11. So it's going to be like a shit show of me rushing. So I would have to think about this a little more.
Zombie, do you think we can set the route up and then maybe we can rotate the rain leader? And so maybe each week it could be someone different?
Well, the main thing that we need to do is so the hard part is making a route not knowing if there's people on it. That's kind of maybe you're right. I don't know. Maybe there's a way we can make the route. It's just going to take...
It's work on our end because I see us having to do some coordination, some planning, and some distribution of route, like you're saying with the Mardi Gras.
Start with John Gotchi's neighborhood. Let's find people in John Gotchi's neighborhood and see who's around and just start like that. And maybe the plan is that we need to head a direction. Maybe we should head to District 4.
Towards D1. D4 first, knowing that Friend Zone's going to hook it up, and then from there we can trickle to the inner D1 and see what's going on. And we can use
bounce gates as necessary. So if we go all the way to D4 and we need to go back to D1 right away, boom. Somebody open up a bounce gate in D1. We have to have a team.
That's kind of my idea. Most likely what I'm going to do is just put a bounce gate on all 90 of my parcels and just drop a link into the Discord. I'm hey, I'm about to channel this. I'm going to be here for 10 seconds, channel and leave. And I'll go to my next parcel and leave it open for whoever gets it.
I like that too. I mean, and like I said, the dream here is that so many people see what we're doing that they start doing their own parties, and you can almost like I was calling it a pub crawl. If it starts to be like these spider leg pub crawls where everybody's doing different things, you can almost pick and choose where you're going to be. You start off here, you go over there with some other friends, you grab your gang. You don't have to be at the same party the whole day.
The gang kids go over in the corner.
I was going to say also, we were talking about our farming setup. Have you guys just considered we are pretty much the art guild, right? NFT displays, like what we're going to do with that, because I think it would be
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, well said. No, well said for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's we have liquid funds. We have non-Alchemica based funds that we can swap for, and so I'm open to it in terms of ideas. If you guys think it's serious enough to consider LE Flex, we can discuss that as a vote style. Otherwise, just I'm super open to this
I think
y'all's
we
deference
need-
here because y'all kind of the leaders.
I think we need a spacious, and I think we need to build out. I mean, especially because if we, not even in D12, I think we need a spacious somewhere else. Because if we're building a parade route, like we should be somewhere else, and that can
Yeah.
be like our big gallery. Like GMI is our headquarters. It's kind of small. It's the operation, but we can have a big spot somewhere that could be the middle of the route, or we can change
And I
that to
feel
be
like-
the end of the route. Whatever.
I feel like if we have a big space, like a spacious parcel, we can have a nice farming operation there, and we can use that to host our artwork and stuff. We can put a whole bunch of displays on there and kind of tile it out and have different displays up there. Especially with think of all the whitelisted pieces we have, right? We could probably fill out a whole spacious parcel and have them all displayed up there, so you're walking around on the GMI pieces. And so we could do that, and then we can keep our current estate nice and clean with the GMI, and just keep upgrading that alpha harvester. Maybe add a couple more of the other kinds and level them up, and just have a couple like level 6s or 7s eventually on there, and then that'll be the dream.
Do we want to specify it as tolerant as a spacious with long side to the road, or are we open to even a spacious with a short side to the road?
I think
it doesn't matter with
gates,
the
it
bounce
doesn't
gates now.
matter. Yeah, boom.
Cool. Good answer.
I think if anything, what we do is we get this parade going and we start planning this other thing on the side, and we might figure out exactly, not to mention we were talking about this 2 weekends ago, and I was like, when Z-Fi was out of town, and I was like, don't talk about buying land without Z-Fi. He's already got a list of spots. He's been quiet, and I know that's why. He's already got a list he's pulling out. He's looking right now.
That real estate agent I'm always looking. I'm not looking to buy right now, but I'm always looking.
Yep.
If you're looking for something, you let me know, and I'll bet you I know where it is. I'll connect the dots for you.
At the risk of a market front run, there's a spacious in D12 that would be relevant to the humble road that we already have. That's within reasonable distance. That's more than affordable in that sub 500 range for spacious.
Something to think about.
Okay. So yeah, we'll throw some topics up maybe in the forum and get some parcels dropped and talk about some stuff and some options. But yeah, that makes sense. I like it. We could definitely just get a spacious and then invest in a larger farming ops on that spacious where the Alchemic is denser and more of a runway. And then we can look at building a shitload of NFT displays there and a good bounce gate and call it a long-term investment and a nice place to make a home.
Hell yeah. I just got one more thing I wanted to share here. If we are kind of ready to move on, so I've been thinking a couple months back, maybe 6 months back actually, we were discussing some sort of a seed. You create a story for a seed block, and this AI tool kind of iterates on top of that and creates this whole timeline story thing. And I found this thing called Notebook.ai. And it's a lore building tool. And so what it allows you to do is it allows you to create a universe. And then within the universe, you can create pretty much anything. You can create characters, locations. And this thing has AI integrated into the notebook. So the notebook itself is actually stitching these things together. So, if you create the universe with the different cities, and, this would be a good way to start experimenting with Aavegotchi storylines and start creating some of our own fan fiction and lore with the assistance of AI. So you may not have to be completely creative in the whole process, but you can put in all the inputs, the items, locations, create a couple characters in your universe, and then start working with that and start creating the story and start building. And everything is backed up to a cloud, so you can't really lose the content, and you're just building on top of this story. And we could have multiple storylines, like Nine of Depths was just one, and we'll have to follow up with them and see, at what point they're ready to iterate on that. But we shouldn't wait for that. I think we should start creating some of our own side stories, and it's perfect with fake gotchis coming out now, so it ties in with the artwork. And yeah, so just thought I'd throw that out there.
I've probably told 8 different people about Notebook AI since you shared it with me, man. It keeps becoming relevant in conversations. We keep talking, and I'm like, oh, you should probably go to this website my friend told me about. Sounds like perfect for what you're trying to do.
Helps you plug things in too, like, oh, you need weather conditions for this scenario. Here are some things you can pick out. Like, it really does help you build a story much quicker than like trying to come up with things yourself. So might be a really very much like in line with the GMI creative suite of tools that we use.
Good stuff. That's all I got. I'm good for it. Air of the Realm, open table, open mic, open discussion. If anybody has anything that they want to share in general, otherwise we can wrap this sucker up and call it a nice early evening and get ready for Gotchi morning.
Bullish on GMI.
Hell
Bullish
yeah,
on
man.
GMI.
Great
Oh,
call.
yeah,
Yeah, just great turnout. Thanks again, Anthony, for the play, and it definitely got the right vibe set and got everyone brain tingling and excited.
Oh yeah, man, it's exciting. I mean, yeah. So I guess I don't know if you mentioned it, but we do have No Futuristic did the Rep 3 today, and we have it next Friday. I don't know if you mentioned.
Yeah, I
that,
don't even. Not in a big way at all. And so yeah, shout out to No Future for doing that. I heard it went really well, and we'll be having a similar conversation with them. So it's them showing interest towards Gotchi Gang. So we just kind of are showing up as ambassadors of the protocol community and just discussing what it's all about. So I'm excited to share with them why we are a little different over here.
Yep. And from what I understand, they do like reputation NFTs. So I thought it would be cool. Maybe it might be that we were talking about doing token gated streams, and maybe this would be part of that, where you can get a token from the kiosk that's your ticket to get into the stream. And then it also their NFTs track how long or how much you engage. I think time would be one. So basically, if you bought your ticket at the beginning of the stream and you were there for the whole 4-hour session that we're running on Friday nights, then like, there would be reputation
That's like full
points
credit
attached to that. Yeah.
Gotcha. It'd be like max score, earnable kind of a thing.
Exactly.
Ah, man, makes sense.
And maybe
Excited
those
about that.
points, like it doesn't necessarily need to be an expensive NFT, or it can even be something that maybe you buy the first one, but actually staying for 2 hours will get you the credits to buy a second one. And maybe, we can have something that's the equivalent of like Friends, where it's it's a balance, but it's not like a token. And then you can actually keep getting your next GMI ticket by just like coming to at least 2 hours of any stream.
Yeah, no, it makes good sense, and I like it. One last thing, it's kind of popping into my mind before I slip it. It's kind of goofy and sidebar stuff, but it's just something I guess I'm taking slightly seriously here. There's this other NFT project called Crazy Crows Chess Club, and it's just like what it sounds like. They're little PFPs of crows, but it's like access to a social chess club that I got into like a year and a half ago, and the suckers are still alive and breathing and kicking, and they got good contracts, and they've been sticking around. And so they're actually going to introduce some new game mechanics similar to Cool Cats and Milk and Gotchis and Farming. And it's going to be like these old pouches and shiny bits, but they're looking for whitelist partners, and they're looking for community to beta test. And so I'm keeping a close eye on it and seeing and dangling us as a potential, we'll put it through the ringer. So if it looks interesting enough, it might be something I bring over here and say, hey, you can talk to us and see what the deal is here. But other than that, I like everything that I'm hearing here. I'm super excited about the 3D kiosk. That's a big deal there.
Question for the game that you just mentioned. Do they have a rental system?
No, they don't yet. And the old pouches I don't even know if there would be rental mechanics that would make sense or not, but happy to put them in touch with Orium and tie all this stuff together. Yeah, like that's the kind of stuff that they're looking for, is any kind of integration to, thoughtful gaming communities that do have pulses, that do have communities that are still showing up.
Yeah, heck yeah. Just send them my way.
Cool. Yeah, I'll link it up. And then just last thing for me personally, great turnout on this call, and just want to give a shout out to Zonzi. Zonzi does great work over there at the Polygon AMAs, and I've been lucky enough to frequent visiting some of those here this last couple of weeks, and I always appreciate listening to like foundational roots. And so thanks for setting good role models for people like me that have been in the space for a while. Keep it up, man.
Hey, I got one thing that occurred to me while I was walking home here.
Do it.
So it's almost Black Friday, right? And everyone's talking about, oh, you should have a subscription to this or that or whatever. If we're going to get stuff as a community, like as the DAO or as GMI, we should figure that out and get the Black Friday deal.
That makes damn good sense. Absolutely. Yeah, like if we're going to do anything acquisition, do it timing it with that.
Yeah, like I always pay, I have all sorts of crap, but I pay 20%.
That makes damn good sense. Okay. Yeah, we'll put that on the forefront of purchases, is to try to tie that in. That's a good idea. But yeah, there you go, Z5. We need a huge TV, and then we can stream higher quality video. Perfect. Other than that, I'm still just waiting for Manor's first set of script and programming for the Manor Hour, because we know that is in the secret skunkworks. Just waiting for that one to finally come through. Otherwise, I think we're good to go, ladies and gentlemen.
Lastly, Dr. Wagme, good luck with the baby. I know that's coming like either this week or next week, so take the time. Good luck with that.
Thanks, man. Due in 9 days, so any minute. So I'm trying to get all the groundwork for the forge done so I can go on paternity leave. So I'm excited about it.
Physical forge,
right?
And you do all the things that they say you can't do if you're into Web3. I'm really happy to have you.
I know, man. This man forges twice now.
All right, ladies and gents. Good Friday, man. Enjoyed the whole run of programming. I think this was kind of the envision goal of No Futuristic and Zombie and whatnot. It's just kind of this cohesive gauntlet of badass gotcha goods. And so, well done. Looking forward to the morning. We'll see y'all then.
I love the form there, Z5, by the way. That's a form. I think we can circulate that probably tomorrow at the Hangout. I think we should just add one more field, though. We should add the time component, your ideal time or whatever. But maybe might not even need that. But
it's a 2-hour window. I figured it would all be pretty tight. We gotta work on efficiency.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, that's actually, no, the time thing is actually a good point, because if someone, like, as we see constraints, that gives us a good way to build the route based on area and those constraints, and we can start to, this is just going to be a hard logistics puzzle, so we definitely need that time factor.
It's going to be a lot easier when they implement the ability for people to pop Alchemica out of their pockets, and then we can just have people well stationed along a predefined route, and they can just throw Alchemica in the air.
We shouldn't leave this parcel explanation wide open, because we're going to get 10 different things. We should have it in there exactly as we want to see it. Like, give them.
I wasn't sure how that would look yet.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how that would look yet, so I just went for the shotgun effect.
I'm kind of curious to see how people will self-define their parcels, though. I want to see the romanticized versions that we get. Say, that's a lovely parcel over here on the southeast side of town. I'll tell you about it. The way that the cat grass is swaying on the left side of the parcel is really nice in the afternoon light.
Exactly. They're going to be like, I'm the alien in District 4. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
come to the snack.
Just come to the snack. Yeah, exactly.
Go to snack. I love that.
So yeah, we can work on this. I'm willing to work on it with you tomorrow or something if you want, or we can work on it right now after this call. But yeah, I think we should plan out, like we should have it listed exactly as we want to see it and with time, so that we can start to put that on a spreadsheet and a map to see like, okay, this is exactly what we can do. And that way, as people, so the other hard part about this is we almost need like an RSVP the night before to make sure people are going to be there and do their thing, because otherwise we need to be able to quick adjust.
For sure.
Like if we have a major
you basically
player
just
drop
get passed
out,
over.
it would mess up the parade, you know?
How about we? Are you guys
fun.
down for? Are you guys down for a quick little team call after this, and we can let these guys? We can let these guys go.
Oh, you
Carry
just don't
on.
want them to hear our bullshit. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's
You're
clear
like, oh,
this
these
out.
guys are still talking about this parade. Yes, the parade's happening. We're gonna do it.
All right, boys and girls, we appreciate your time for the GMI community call tonight.
Win type
Appreciate-
form.
Yeah, our XP is, just it's in your hearts and minds. Get out of here for the evening. We'll see y'all tomorrow morning for the hangout. Thanks for hanging out. This was a fun Friday. Lots to look
Lots of
forward
fun,
to.
everyone. Let's make a strong push tomorrow to get a duck wearable.
Man, we're on fire
yeah.
with this. This is on. It's got the right leverage right now. We can drive it home. I agreed.
The
Ducks and
waddle.
snakes.
Man, the pet, the waddle. Yeah, no, I think there's something to it there. All right, y'all get the heck out of here. We'll take care of business here on the back end. Y'all enjoy your
Peace, y'all.
evenings.